Acheeto plushies are available now at makeship.com. Alright, so I've lost any and all respect I may have had for Chris Tyson after seeing what he's been doing recently, and I'm not talking about him taking HRT, I already spoke about that. I don't have an issue with him taking HRT, I just found it sad that his kid isn't gonna have a proper father figure growing up. But after that took place, Chris Tyson decided to make it even harder for people to support him, as he ended up having a public beef with a random Twitter user in which Chris Tyson got so butthurt, right? He got so upset over this beef that he flexed $1 million on this guy, this random Twitter user, to prove a point that we already know, which is that Chris Tyson is rich, and richer than most of us. Like, congrats, dude. So I made a video criticizing him on that, but ladies and gentlemen, in the last few days, Chris Tyson, I think he just wants people to hate him at this point, right? Because, like, why else would you do this? Chris Tyson is posting pictures to his Snapchat story, dressing his 2-year-old son in high heels. Here, Tucker chose to slay this morning. Except, no, he didn't. He did not choose to slay this morning. He did not choose to wear these high heels, and I'll explain to you why. This kid can barely do two things: walk and speak. This kid did not spring out of bed at the crack of dawn saying, "Hello, father, do you have any high heels that I could place on my feet?" Because this kid's linguistic patterns are still in Goo Goo Gaga tier, you understand, right? He's not asking for things like high heels. And on top of that, the kid can barely walk properly, so there is no chance he's gonna wear something like high heels, which you need to learn how to walk in additionally. You, Chris, decided that you want to take a shoe most often worn by women in their 20s or 30s and put that on your little boy's foot. And I wish you would just be honest about it, because if you were being honest, the Snapchat post would read something like, "I am a 26-year-old man that is wearing makeup and putting on dresses, something that 99% of 26-year-old men aren't doing. This fact deeply upsets me and makes me feel alone, so in order to compensate that and to feel validated in my decisions, I'm going to make my little son look kind of like how I look." I mean, this dude bought high heels the exact size of his little boy's foot. He wanted to see his little son wear high heels. He wants to look at his son dressed in a way that 99.99% of 2-year-old boys are not dressed. What sort of message are you sending to the world or anybody who views your page when you're placing high heels on your son and telling the world about it? This isn't slay, as you put it. This is demented. This is genuinely demented. You need to stop what you're doing and get a fucking grip, dude. Question for the boys watching right now: how would you feel if you learned just now that when you were 2 years old, 3 years old, or 4 years old, your father was placing high heels on your feet? And then after doing that, he would take pictures of you wearing the heels and post that to his Snapchat story to be seen by millions of people. Would you not just feel violated? Like, if that happened to me, I'm picking up my phone, I'm texting my dad, "Hey, you got 10 minutes to talk?" And then I'm just gonna grill him for 10 minutes straight with these questions as to why he felt that would be appropriate. When this kid turns 18, I hope he sues for damages. Matter of fact, I hope he sues for the $1 million that Chris had the audacity to flex on Twitter. Bro, Sunny V2 must be feeling vindicated right now, because almost every single day that's passed since Sunny V2 dropped his video on Chris Tyson, he has gotten weirder and weirder. And the saddest part is there are so many people that think and feel exactly how I feel about this, but they're afraid to say it because of how Chris Tyson looks. And they don't want to come across as transphobic or something like that. They don't want to get labeled as a bigot. And I am not a bigot for simply calling out this bad behavior, because at the end of the day, this is bad behavior. This is not how you should parent. This isn't how you role model for your son. This is just all wrong. But it gets even worse, right? Because you think it's just him posting his son on Snapchat with high heels. And honestly, if that was just it, I think that would still be enough to call out. But this weirdo is buying artwork from pedophiles. MrBeast's sidekick posted artwork from disgraced artist known for animated CP. Dude, you are a psychopath. Get help, okay? Admit yourself to rehab or something, dude. You cannot be out here. Would not be surprised at all if this guy is planning a collaboration with Chris Chan in the upcoming months. Like, at this point, when we see things like this, I can predict the road this guy is headed down. And understand, too, this is all after he tweeted stuff like this a few years ago. Nothing gets my knob cranking like some lolly. If you don't know what lolly is, I'm not gonna ruin your day, but it's basically like animated cheese pizza. Now, I would have been charitable to Chris Tyson here and say, "Oh no, he's just joking. No, this is just a, an edgy joke. He's not being serious." But then you look at the artwork that he just bought, right? Like, look at this. Look at the artwork he just bought. This is an NSFW anime girl. I mean, really not that different from Lolly. Now, I'm not gonna say that Chris Tyson is an EDP or he's a confirmed pedophile or anything like that, because that would just be straight up slander. But like, look at the series of events that I'm bringing up here. Can you not just look at this and think, wow, this is straight up weird? Having an NSFW anime girl painting that was painted by a pedophile hanging up in your house while your kid, who you're putting in high heels, walks around that house. Yeah, no, you're strange. You are a weirdo. And I said this earlier, but it's so true that people are genuinely afraid to say anything negative about this guy because they think that they'll be canceled, or they think that they'll be like labeled as a bigot or a transphobe or something if they even levy the smallest crumb of criticism toward this guy. And I have to say, if that's how you feel, genuinely you're a coward. You're spineless. You are a snail. You have no spine. You live in your shell hoping that nobody comes after you. And I have zero respect for that, okay? None. If you can't condemn the actions that I've displayed in this video because you're afraid of like how people are going to respond to that, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me, because you're spineless. I don't hang around with people who are spineless. Now, that being said, if you are spineless but you at least understand personally why this is wrong, I don't like that, but you're better than people that would support this. Now, if you support this man hanging up anime drawn by a pedophile in his house while posting his 2-year-old son in high heels on Snapchat, tell me why in the comments. Please, I'd like to have a discussion with you. But yeah, I'm sort of wondering when the internet is going to reach their tipping point with this guy, because for me it was today when I found out that he bought that artwork and that he's dressing up his son in high heels. But, you know, I don't know what it's going to take for some people to sort of get to the point where they're like, yeah, I just don't with this anymore. I don't even know if that's gonna happen, because if you think about it, the majority of the people that watch MrBeast videos are kids, and I don't think kids are on Twitter, and they're not maybe on Snapchat, so they're not gonna see this stuff going on. So the people that are gonna see this stuff are mostly adults, and they weren't gonna watch MrBeast probably anyway, because mostly kids content. But yeah, I wonder how many more of these sort of instances have to take place for there to be a noticeable domino effect in which Chris Tyson actually has to like publicly do some explaining. It's just weird, because I'm beginning to genuinely question, what does MrBeast gain from working with this guy? And I understand that they're friends, but I just don't get how you could see this activity happening on one of your friends and just stand by silently. MrBeast has created, I would argue, the most successful brand on YouTube ever. He was offered $1 billion for his channel or his brand or something like that, and he turned it down because it's worth more than $1 billion. So whenever there's drama or controversy surrounding MrBeast, if we have a big enough drama or a big enough controversy, there are millions of dollars at stake, and that's at the bare minimum, right? I wish Chris Tyson just behaved more like Chandler, and Chandler just sort of just sits there unfazed. He doesn't really say much. I mean, he's entertaining, but I don't think he's ever caused a single problem, and that's the sort of energy MrBeast needs to keep around him, especially right now. But anyways, with that all being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Comment down headphones if you made it to the end of the video. Follow my social medias, links are all down below, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.